All right, well, this is Philip Mott. I'm sitting here with, across the. Where do you live, Kenneth?
I live in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, you live in Dallas, Texas. Okay, so I'm Philip Mott here in Noblesville, Indiana, talking with Kenneth from Dallas, Texas. And Kenneth, what's your last name again?
My last name is Benson, like the famous saxophone player George Benson.
Okay, excellent. But you're not related to him.
I wish, but I'm not.
So me and Kenneth are going to talk a little bit about practice, and I'm subscribed to Kenneth's drum channel, and have noticed over the last several weeks just lots of really cool drum licks and um, just some really tasty stuff that you put on your drum covers. So I wanted to seek you out and get some things for my readers, some ideas on practice techniques and what it is like to practice. How do you get to a certain level? Because we're all busy these days. So if we can get tips from people who are already attaining a certain level, it would hopefully save us time, us who aren't as good, to if we can build better routines so we can get better faster and we can keep pushing the drum world. Does that sound like a good conversation?
That sounds like a really good conversation.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. So I guess just tell us a little bit about how you got into drumming. Give us some background about what you do, maybe some of the bands or groups you've played with, or some of the projects that you've worked on.
Okay, first, how I got into drumming. I got into drumming when I was like, I'd probably say like 5 years old. When I used to go to the church with my granny, and I used to always see the drummer, and I used to be just fascinated by this dude because he would be up there just leading the service, and making everybody get into the spirit. So I guess that's one thing that attracted me to it. So from that, like I used to go home to my granny house, and I used to sit down for hours upon hours just beating on stuff. Like my mother and my granny, they would always tell me like when I was young, I just used to always beat up everything. Like I used to beat up
Yeah.
the pillows, beat up the teddy bears. I just had this natural need just to want to play the drums for some reason.
Yeah.
And then like after that advanced into like I went to a performing arts middle school. I played the violin for like a long time, and then I went back into drumming after I started playing the violin. And then after that, like once I graduated, I started playing in different hip hop groups. I played in this one hip hop group in Dallas, Texas, by the name of Sore Losers. We were a six-piece, and we toured for a little bit. We were under management from this lady. Her name was Timmy Jordan. She works for ESPN. So we got to tour. I got to do like different festivals. Like I did the what is that festival called? The Sundance Film Festival,
Oh, yeah.
Salt Lake City, Utah. I
Okay.
did that, and I got to open up for Ron Leslie, and we did a whole bunch of other different stuff in LA. And I mean, it was a very good experience. I got to see how it is traveling, on the road because we took a road trip all the way from Texas to LA. So I
Uh-huh.
got to see how it really is to be in a traveling, do-it-yourself band.
Yeah.
And then from that, like I right now I get with a cover band, a top 40 band, and we've been gigging all around the Metroplex right now. We've been doing a lot of battles of bands
Okay.
and doing a whole bunch of different contests. And then I'm also in another band that I put together. It's a three-piece. It consists of a bass, guitar, and me on drums, and we call it the adversary.
Say that name again. The Atterberries. Is that what you said?
The adversary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, we've been going back and forth about like the name of the band, but I mean, the adversaries is what's sticking right now,
Yeah.
and we're like an experimental alternative. Everything you want to put together band.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that experimental stuff, and well, just like getting trying new things with, I like mixing the rock genre with hip hop and soul and jazz, like trying to throw some of those concepts into all of my playing. I really love to do so.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about, you've got tons of videos on your YouTube channel. Tell us a little bit about what made you start posting YouTube videos and the whole process you kind of go through when you pick out a song to cover. For example, you uploaded someone else did a version of the Wide Awake by Katy Perry, and I can't remember whose version it was, but then you played the drums along with that. Tell us a little bit about that process.
Okay, basically, well, first of all, I'll start out with why I started doing YouTube. It started off as a way to record myself, because I started off in my bedroom.
Yeah.
When I was probably 19. So it started as a way to record my progress. But then it just matured into just a way to get my name out there.
Yeah.
I got to see people I got to talk to people like Cobus, who's really big on YouTube. And,
yeah, he is.
He was just telling me this, just continue to do it and to play popular music. And then the one way I go about choosing songs is basically I go off of the Billboards, the Hot 100s. I go and look on there and see what songs are the top in the country.
Okay.
And and that's how I choose my song.
Yeah.
And then, but lately what I've been doing, I've been trying to support other artists that's out there, doing videos and covers and remakes. So basically, I've been using their covers and just putting drums on top of their covers. So therefore, we're working together.
Okay.
As a unit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Cobus has done some stuff like that too, where he's done kind of like some collaborations over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool. It's a whole new platform to create music with, which is really neat. So let's get kind of into the meat of the conversation about your practice. We'll start with kind of what you do now. What when you're getting ready to work on a cover, are you trying to copy the drummer specifically? Are you trying to remix it? Or are you trying to supplement? How do you approach the practice and learning the songs that you post up there?
Well, now what I've been doing is now I've just been playing the songs with a click track to it. So therefore, I get to put my own voice into the song.
Okay.
At first, when I started, I used to always try to copy the drummer and do what the beat was doing. But now it's now I'm trying to be more expressive and have my own voice.
Okay.
So if you hear my drum cover, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's Kenneth. You know what I'm saying? That's Kenneth. That's his drum. That's how he drums. That's his style of drumming.
And do you spend a lot of time when you listen to the song? Do you try to plan out your parts, or do you practice what you're going to do, or do you tend to you're at a level right now where you tend to just play whatever you feel like playing?
Oh yeah. I kind of got to that level now to where I'll just practice over it 2 or 3 times, and I've been doing a lot of sessions, so I'm learning now time is money. So I'm trying to continue to keep that mindset as I go into learning these covers. So I just get the song, listen to it first, but that's always the best thing to do is listen to it and get a feel of it, and then just practice over it, and then set up my equipment, set up the camera, press record on my Cubase, and there you go. You get the final product. I always one take my videos.
Oh, okay. So just one take, and you get the mistakes and everything with it.
Uh-huh.
And now, how long have you been playing drums?
I've been playing drums, I say probably about, it's probably 16 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, since the blog is mostly about practice, I want to talk a little bit about the evolution of practice as a drummer. I mean, when I started, there were certain things that I practiced that I don't really practice anymore. And I'm curious, when I'm interviewing drummers, do other drummers experience that? I mean, what was practice like when you first started? And then as you got going, how did it change, and what does practice look like today?
When I first started practicing, it was about like as far as like improving my hands, improving my feet. So I was doing a whole bunch of rudiments, a whole bunch of exercises that I
Yeah.
was learning from different drummers. But it's like as I got a tad bit older and as I became more busy and working, like
Right.
practice became to like this turn. How can I learn as many songs as possible? you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Retention. How can I retain so much? So therefore, if I have a gig, if somebody calls me for a gig, a day before to give me all these 8 songs, how can I learn all these 8 songs before that, before the gig the next day?
Right. Exactly.
But at the same time, I'm still trying to, get back to the basics as far as like rudiments and, practice with a metronome, make sure my timing, going through all my different styles.
Yeah.
And, I'm trying to get back into that, but it's like, as you begin to work more, it's kind of hard to go back.
It is. And I think, what I want to do is help give my readers a way to sort of make sure that we can always practice things that we make time to practice things that we need to practice. And I think to me, the challenge is as you get better, it becomes more fun to play. And so, you might go down to your basement or sit in your bedroom and play for a half hour, but you didn't actually practice. And so that's kind of the last question I'll get into in a little bit is, what is that difference between practice and playing, and how do we continue to push ourselves to become better and still enjoy the craft as a drummer too? So when you moved from, you said you started with your basic rudiments, trying to do exercises with your feet. Could you be a little bit more specific? Tell us what kind of exercises you found were the most useful.
Well, I have a video that I put up. It's called "The Secret Formula to Increase Your Hand Speed." And
Okay.
basically, it was because I was in marching band in high school, and my marching band instructor, teaches all these different warm up exercises. So I was like, okay, what if I apply this to a metronome? And basically, like the exercises consist of like paradiddles, singles, and
Yeah.
different doubles and stuff. And basically, you just do them in different patterns.
Yeah.
But what I did, I applied it to a metronome. So I would like take the first exercise he taught us, and I would start at like 120 BCM. And then as I got comfortable with that, I go up to like 140. And then as I got comfortable with that, I go up. So I keep going up. So therefore, I will be able to keep a tab on my progress.
Yeah. So in your opinion, it's really about continuing to push yourself with the metronome, and also being able to kind of point back and say, well, this is where I'm at in my progress.
Exactly, because I went to a drum clinic with Chris Coleman. You know what that is, right?
Say the name again.
Christopher Coleman.
That name sounds familiar, but I can't put a face with it right now.
Yeah, he's like this dude is playing for everybody. He's been featured in all the drum festivals. He signed the minor cymbals
Okay.
on our drum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to a clinic of his that he had in Dallas. And one thing he stressed about, because he went to the Drummers Collective in New York, Manhattan to be specific, and one thing that he stressed was metronome.
Yeah.
Everything you do, whatever you practice, whatever exercise you practice, do it with a metronome, because he was like, a metronome keeps you in time. It keeps your limbs working in time. Because he explained it like, he was like, when you basically walk, you know how you sway your arms when you walk? Your right leg never sways with your left arm.
Yeah.
So he was like, your body is naturally out of time. It's not in tempo.
Right.
You're not. You didn't. We weren't created with tempo.
Right.
So you have to teach yourself.
Excellent. And and then you talked a little bit about how practice changes now. You said you're trying to get back into some rudiments a little bit. And you said that really the challenge for you is, you're working, you're trying to support yourself, you're trying to get your name out there. So I guess my question is, how do you make sure that you have time to still focus on fundamentals and getting better, apart from just making time to enjoy playing drums, because that's the reason you started.
Exactly. I mean, basically, it's really your drive and your passion. If you it's a mental thing. If you feel like you want to advance, you'll find some type of way. Even if it's just getting up in the morning, like early in the morning after you done woke up, brush your teeth, wash your face, you get on the side of your bed with the pillow and you go over some exercise.
Yeah.
Just 30 minutes a day, if you just spend that time just doing something. It's really your drive, but I mean, as you said, as we get older and you try to support yourself, it does get harder because it's like you're working late nights because you had a gig until like 2 o'clock in the morning. So sometimes you don't feel like getting up in the morning and doing that because you're tired.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people do recommend about 30 minutes a day. And right now I feel like I'm practicing probably close to an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. I've got a little bit of time off of work, so I'm able to put in a lot of practice. What would you say to someone, that's just getting started out? What would you say some main things, probably the most important things for them to practice would be?
Okay, well, one thing I would say is your rudiments to get your hands right because rudiments is the language of drums.
Okay.
And practice with a mention on. That's another thing. And another thing I would say is like, if you like a drummer, like say like you like Chad Smith, practice to what he practices. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Go look at the music that he plays. If he plays, you have to go back in history and see what drummer Chad's like.
Okay.
You have to go back and study them. It's like you really have to know your history.
Yeah.
As far as drumming, but I mean, one thing I do still do is like I still go and check out people that are better than me because iron sharpens iron.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's something that we forget to do sometimes. We forget to look at people that are doing some cool stuff that we can't do yet. And one more, I guess, question about practice and that I alluded to earlier is what would you consider the difference between practice and playing? Do you see a difference or do you think they're the same? What's your take on that?
Well, yeah, practice is totally different because practice, you have a chance to get it right. Playing is not getting it right. It's like you either play it and it's right or you play it and it's wrong.
Okay.
So practice, you have times to go back and do it's repetition. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're trying to build muscle memory. But playing, it's like if you don't have that muscle memory and if you don't know the song and if you don't know the hits and breaks, you're not gonna know it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you, and I'm just I'm getting a lot of those some of the same responses that people I talk to, that there is a difference between practice and playing. And when you talk to students or someone that's new to it, you ask, well, what are you practicing? And they, I play hours every day. And it's like, well, you might play a lot every day, but are you really practicing? Are you really getting better at what you're doing? And I think a lot of people, especially when they approach music for some reason, we just want to play. We don't really want to practice and really perfect the craft. So, well, let me give you another chance to kind of promote your YouTube channel. And so tell us a little bit about that and anything else you want to say, and then we'll sign off here.
Okay, well, like you said again, I do have a YouTube channel. It's Kenneth Benson B214. You can come and check it out. I usually upload videos 2 times a week, but now I've been very booked and doing a lot of different things. So it's kind of varying now, and I'm working on getting a new camera because you always have to try to progress in whatever you're doing. So and just continue, just to support it and continue to practice, because that's my whole motto: is practice makes perfect. Just continue to practice and continue to follow your dreams, and don't let anybody tell you you can't do it.
Absolutely. Well, this is Philip Mott with the Rhythm of a Drummer blog, sitting down with Kenneth Benson. Kenneth, thank you for taking some time out of your day to chat with us about practice and drumming, and we'll see you on the internet, I guess.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.